Hello and welcome to another lesson on soundproofing and room acoustics. Today is going to be cool. We're going behind the scenes with one of my clients' SketchUp files, and I'm going to show you exactly how I designed one of the coolest studios, one that I might even base my own future studio off of this design. This is a great building. It's attached to the house, so it's actually like has this foyer space. You'll see it's cool. It's if you're ever going to want to build something off the back of your house, this is a great template to figure out how to do that. So before we jump in, I have a free resource for you. Always have this. It's my free soundproofing workshop. If you want to learn more about soundproofing quickly instead of endless YouTube videos, check it out at soundproofyourstudio.com/workshop. All right, I'm Wilson Harwood. I am a professional studio designer and acoustician based in Nashville, Tennessee, and I am going to show you how I designed this amazing studio for my client. Let's dive in. All right, everybody, this is one of my favorite studio designs. I'm super stoked for you. So this is a extension off the back of the house. Specifically, imagine there's a garage right here. For my end of the design, I didn't need the house, so I just kind of have this sort of foyer area and then the main studio here. If you're wondering what all this is just like insulation around the base. I actually worked with a architecture build design firm on this in collaboration, so it was really cool because they had like foundation plans and I followed a lot of their stuff, and then I taught them what needs to be done on the soundproofing studio side. So what we're going to do here first, I think, is do the fun part first. We're going to look at the Enscape file, which is always really great. So let's jump into that first. Jump into Enscape. So with all my clients, I use Enscape, which is a 3D modeling software where we can really go in and see the space in 3D, walk through it. This looks kind of crazy with the mountainside, but I'm just gonna go here. And actually one thing I want to do first is add the lighting on, because that's one of the coolest parts of this. So I'm gonna fly through this wall, this door here, and we'll get into the foyer. Then I'll stand up and you can see in here, actually, I think I can make it nighttime and then the lights come alive and it's actually much easier to see. So nothing crazy here except that we have like a mini split that goes into the garage. This is what's cool here is I rarely get to do this, but this is so smart. Like here's the ventilation system. So we've got our ERV here, our two baffle boxes here, the red and the green. You can't see the green right now, but that's the green. So the fresh air going in and the stale air coming out of the studio. And this is going to be a little closet, you know, like a sliding door or something like that. And it's really useful to have just at least some portion of the closet like this so that I can use that. People never want to give up space for ventilation and stuff, but I'm like, it's so important. Then we have our door into the studio here. This is going to be an ISOStore HD LF. Go through it and we enter the studio, which is awesome. So I'm going to walk around here. So you can see here, I love doing the backlighting like this, colored lighting, hue light strips in the back of the clouds. We've got our lights, which are actually lighting up the studio right now. So on full blast, you know, the studio could be this. These lights are cool because these are hue lights as well. So he can have whatever color he wants in the studio. So if he wanted different mood lighting. Fixed position up here. Mostly a nice wood wall with like a couple panels here. Soffits, notice, are super important for the acoustics. I love putting these these are all GIK acoustics, by the way, just so this person doesn't have to build anything from scratch or have the design build firm build acoustics, which is not something they're really meant for. So pre-bought panels are a good solution for this situation. These soffit traps from GIK can go up in the top corners as well, which is amazing. And then we've got, you know, some sort of diffusion absorption panels on the back wall, which I like to do, covering up a good amount of the back wall with absorption. Same with the side walls. These are all coordinated so that you won't get flutter echo in this rectangular room. You can see the vent there for the fresh air in, the stale air out right there. And yeah, this is the studio, which is really awesome. You can see he can have plenty of room for a drum set, plenty of room for jam band practices, super nice tall ceilings, amazing setup. I even do all the electrical in these designs, so you can really see we got surface mount electrical here. The blue ones indicate a specific audio outlet. The regular ones indicate just one that you can plug like a phone or a lamp or something into. So we're also running Ethernet cables to the back so that you can mic up the drum set from that Ethernet run through the walls, or you could just have a snake across the floor here. So really cool studio. I love this. If I were to build my own home studio, it'd be something kind of similar to this. If I was going to go with pre-hung panels. I'm not sure. I might do custom stuff because why not? It'd be sick. Okay, so that's Enscape. Really cool product. Love Enscape. This allows me to do a lot of lighting design accurately. So now we come back here. Let's talk a little bit about the acoustic design. So our foyer is not part of the studio, but it's a cool design for people who are thinking about, let me take off the ceiling real quick so we can kind of get a floor plan view here. Studio ceiling, there we go. And we got our acoustics and stuff. So you can see here, you come in, there's only one door because we've got basically an airlock system here. So I'm just needing like maximum isolation, but he really didn't need a double door. You know, and these doors are like $3,100. So two of them would be pretty hardcore and expensive. So this is, you know, you can see the 3-panel clouds hanging up there, all insulation in there. These will have to be custom made. I haven't found a person who can make really great clouds yet, although we'll see about those being shipped. Everything has the lighting and the hue lights in them the way I like them. So that is key for my specific designs there. Let's take out the acoustics here and take a look at the isolation, which a lot of you guys are probably geeking out on. Simple HVAC system. Honestly, I'm leaning towards this so much in all my designs of, if you don't have a huge budget and a ton of space that you want to give up to an HVAC system, get your ventilation, something like this in here, at least 6 feet away so you don't short circuit it, and put a mini split on the back wall. I mean, they're so quiet. Those Mitsubishis are great. Got one going right now behind me. It's like below freezing today. Feels amazing in here. So that is just the way I like to do it. So that's the key. Now, with the isolation, nothing too crazy here. 2 layers of OSB on the outside, which is standard for a custom build from the ground up for me. Then whatever sheathing, siding you want to put on it, doesn't matter, you've got your mass. 2x6 construction here just for the engineering of this being such a big building. Fire stops right here, 2 layers of drywall inside of the wall system here. And then this guy is a wood paneling. So that's going to be 3/8 of an inch wood paneling there, depending on what they use. But again, this doesn't necessarily add isolation. It helps, but we're relying on our 2 layers of drywall, not this for isolation. So that's additional. We've got our soundproof windows here. These guys are awesome. I love these sort of like, you know, almost like castle like windows that bring in enough light here, but don't allow people to see in. They're non-operable, which is pretty standard in a studio. Having operable windows is pretty expensive, almost impossible now that I think about it, because even the soundproof window company that has operable windows, they weren't made for the outside, so you can't open them to the outside, which part of me is like, that's kind of crazy, but you could have, anyways, that's another story. So anyways, these are pretty cool windows here. My typical design with tempered glass and laminate glass, 2 different sizes, usually about 3/8 of an inch and 1/2 an inch in here, which is kind of unique. I haven't done this a ton, but I like this one for this design. It's just like the foam. You can buy this off Amazon. It's just like acoustic foam in here. It'll look nice. And you can cut those down to size, and that's what it would look like in there. So check out my window video if you haven't already. I got like an update to 2025 window video that I go in more in depth on those. This is cool with the door. You can see I do like an acoustic, like to cover the gap between the doors. So remember, this door doesn't go all the way across. We've got one frame here and then a faux frame, so to speak, to cover the second wall. And then you have trim around that, and then this is insulation all the way around. The ISO store doors are great because they come with, you know, everything you need, the threshold, all the jams, the seals, everything like that. Super easy, I'm telling you guys. Again, electrical there. So nothing too crazy there. Let's take a look at the ceiling now. So hush frame rafts per usual. You can see this here, and we'll just get the here, and we're going to take the studio roof. I'm going to see if I can get this to where you guys can see the, take off the shingles here. Let's see. I don't know if I can do that, but these are, I think these are pre-built trusses that these guys are hanging off of. I really wanted to show you that. One second. This is a very cool plugin I use called the Medique plugin. There it is. So we got our roof truss system. Again, this was specified by the designer of the building, which is nice. I like having that. Like, the engineering's taken care of. We've got blown in insulation up there, and then you can see the, let me get out of this so you can see this. Then you can see just our typical hush frame rafts built off of these roof trusses here, and then OSB sheathing on the top to help hang the acoustic treatment, the clouds, and then another layer of drywall underneath that. So Gonna be awesome. This is just such a great, clean one that I really like. Oh, are we gonna get back? No, we're not getting back out of that. Let's see. Oh, I know what I need to do. Gotta go to here. There we go. So yeah, that's pretty much the gist of this studio, honestly. And we've got our compressor condenser unit out here for this mini split, a separate one for this mini split, rather than having them on a dual zone and routing all this around. I think it's easier just to have two separate zones. And yeah, that's basically the gist of this studio here. Very cool. Awesome design. I hope you guys find a lot of inspiration from this, and let me know, questions in the comments. All right. I hope you enjoyed that. It was super fun to design the studio. It was great to share it with you all. I hope you gained some valuable insights into the overall view of how you could potentially design a studio similar to this in your own backyard behind your house. If you are going down this journey, you have two options. There is what I call the DIY option, which means you really want to do it all yourself. You don't want to hire anyone to help you, and that's totally fine. That's where that free soundproofing workshop comes in. Gives you tons of free information, and you can just watch it right away at soundproofyourstudio.com/workshop. Then there's the other group. This is what I call the DIT, do it together. These people value having someone reliable, who has experience, who can help them make really crucial decisions and save tons of money. And that's where the Soundproof Clarity Call comes in with me, 30 minutes on Zoom, and we can talk about your project together and see if we're a good fit to collaborate. If you want to do that, just go to soundproofyourstudio.com, click on the Soundproof Clarity Call button, and you will be able to book a call after filling out the application. All right, I'll see y'all later. Thanks so much for tuning in, and more great information on soundproofing and room acoustics coming to you next week, every Monday, 7 a.m. Central Time. All right, see ya.